cities. And there is no greater example of that than Mayor Brandon Johnson right here in Chicago, who has been standing up over and over again to the abuses of the Trump administration, and who is showing the rest of our cities across the country what that looks like and giving inspiration to all of us. Thank you so much, Mayor Johnson.
Mayor Johnson, City Hall will speak. Mayor Johnson will speak.
Congressman Ramirez alluded to the Illinois Coalition of Immigrant Rights, Executive Director Lawrence Benito, Genesis O, Pastor David Black, CFL Mr. Bob Ryder, Palenque LSNA, Executive Director Juliet de Jesus Alejandre, and then of course the GPLU of Illinois Legal Director Kevin Key. I'm grateful that you all are here to shed light today on Trump's unlawful and actions taken against our cities and cities across America. What you heard in the hearing today was alarming stories of protesters being attacked, children being traumatized, and communities living in fear because of an administration that believes in cruelty policy. It is beyond clear that the Trump administration doesn't care about Chicago's safety. In fact, he doesn't care about the American people at all. The President of the United States is actively silencing voices and violating the First Amendment. He is brazenly committing acts of war against the people of Chicago. With boots on the ground, efforts with a clear war on working people. And he has demonstrated this through tariffs, extreme budget cuts, and of course tax breaks for the ultra-wealthy. He's trying to intimidate and erase immigrants and working people and anyone who believes in democracy and justice. And here's the good news. Trump cannot intimidate us. We will continue to work together and do it in unity. Our standing here today, standing here proudly, unapologetically, sends a very clear message to Donald Trump. Chicago will not be silenced. We will not bend. We will not cower. And we will certainly not break. Chicago is and always will be a city that believes in democracy and justice. A city that wholeheartedly embraces diversity of immigrant communities from around the globe. What we are saying is that we are welcome to the city. That is not just a slogan, but it's a promise. My administration wants to protect the Chicago Initiative to protect our communities against unlawful federal actions and ultimately to defend our nation's democracy. I'm committed to using every single tool that we have to make sure that we are protecting the people of Chicago. We are standing in union with community organizations, businesses, philanthropic community, activists, elected officials, and the faith community to do all that we can to protect and defend the constitutional rights of every single Chicago. We've done this through executive orders, through litigation, and peaceful demonstrations. We will continue to do that, but make no mistake. What we heard today in today's hearing is certainly frightening and distressing, but we cannot be afraid. We have to remain firm and committed to ensure that justice for all prevails. So grateful again that we have so many clear, conscientious leaders that recognize that even as Dr. King and Cesar Chavez and Mother Jones, they understood that we have to continue to fight for dignity, equality, and justice for all. With that, I'm grateful to bring to the podium Cook County Board President, Tony President.
Well, people, what you heard was a call to action and a tug of war, a continuation of a tug of war between the city of Chicago, Mayor Brandon Johnson, and local and national leaders. They had a meeting today, City Hall here in Chicago. It is Friday the 24th of 2025. I have 2:17 in the PM. Let's say it together. Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. So yes, I was at that meeting. And again, Brandon Johnson, the mayor, spoke, as well as other political leaders from Illinois and around the United States. I tell you, people, one thing to see it in the news, on the news, another thing to be there. And I tell you, the tug of war is real. It's real. And I don't see it ending anytime soon. The executive orders have been signed by the mayor, by our governor, and I'm telling you, the pushback is real. people are standing up. No matter what side of the equation that you're standing on, America doesn't need it. In my city, Chicago, we don't need it. We got other things to deal with before the migration issue hit. But it's here, and we just can't wish it away. Although I wish I could. Sometimes you appreciate what you had more when difficulties come. I pray it doesn't happen at your city. This immigration back and forth, this pendulum. Donald Trump is not bending. My mayor and my governor, they're not bending. The people are not bending. Some illegals have been, or a safe way to put it, some people say, some migrants have left. Some migrants have been what my mayor and governor say, kidnapped. Some are in detention centers. And some have been sent back to their homeland. We got millions of them here, people. This thing could go on for years. I got a whiff of some news last week. I was going to go out to the detention center in Broadview, Illinois, but I declined to go out there. When I found out about this, I says I'll go cover the live press conference, and I did. But what I heard was that at the detention center in Broadview, Illinois, there is an adjacent building that I'm understanding, allegedly, that ICE wants to occupy that building as well. So that would house more of the immigrants for processing. The only benefit is that it would speed it up. But man, I tell you, Broadview has got their hands full. I've said before and I'll say it again, whatever happens in Broadview, it appears it's happening here in Chicago. The protests in Broadview, Illinois, the curfew started 2 weeks ago, and that is from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Although today, the protest started at 7 a.m. And it was a healthy, decent crowd. And they'll be they'll be there till 6. There were some meetings during the week. I did cover that. And there were some rallies. I was at the All Kings, the No Kings rally Saturday. There might be one tomorrow. I know there was one this past Tuesday during the day. I didn't make it. But yeah, I want to keep you guys abreast. Sitting there in that live setting, seeing these top officials, hearing their concerns of their constituents in terms of the neighborhoods, and hearing the concerns of the migrants in their neighborhood, they just differ from what Republicans are believing. I'm not sure I should do a poll on my audience. Are we split on whether or not I should send them back, or should they stay here? I believe as I watch the chat, as I do the live, it appears that the majority of people, and I do have a national and somewhat international audience when I do my lives, it appears that the majority want the immigrants to go back. The horror stories that I've been listening to, and I need to do a video on that, the horror stories of those who go back. I don't know if you've heard it, but you're risking your life. I said I would go back because I'm going to tell you what I would be scared of as an immigrant if I was here. I'd be scared I'd come up missing. But then you run the risk of going back home and you could be tortured or put in jail or put to death. And this is what I'm hearing. Again, I need to do a video on this. Put in the comment section what you have heard. What a state to be in as a human being. Just imagine that. I've given you guys my opinion and the background of how I feel about this migration issue. It didn't just happen overnight. This is big business and big government and big international businesses wanting the land and the resources. And the people flee because there's nothing left. Many of the governments have been bought off, paid off, or taken over. And the people have to flee. The question is, where do they flee? Well, some come to America. It's the last days, y'all. It's pitiful, but it's real. At some point, we got to bring some type of dignity to it and some type of justice. The thing gets more complicated by the day, yet I see it as a simple fix. But yet, it looks complicated because people aren't talking. The question was asked at this live press conference, were the people there willing to talk to Trump? And their answer basically is Trump is not answering. Trump won't even answer them when it comes down to reopening the government. So why would he even talk about the migrant issue here in Chicago? Until everybody comes to the table, people, that nothing's going to be resolved. I've talked about that money issue, and that money issue is big because this can really drain our economic economy. I think we're $1.25 to $1.5 billion in a hole here in Chicago. With that deficit, our mayor just proposed a budget where he's saying, in part, that the wealthy, the big businesses, they got to pay their fair share. They got skin in the game. Well, you know, a lot of them didn't like that, but that's his proposal. I guess some property owners and small businesses are saying, well, better them than better us. It's a quagmire. You got inflation, like Joe Frazier. You got inflation on one side with the cost of living. You got Muhammad Ali bobbing and weaving. At the same time, you got Mike Tyson beating the hell out of you. Economics and policies and immigration. Our nation wasn't built to deal with all this. Not without an order. Certainly not without an order. We had order in place. And you guys might not like the opinion, but I got to have a start point. When Biden opened up the faucet and millions upon millions of people came over here in a short period of time, that took away the order. That took away the system that we had in place. It might not have been the best system or the quickest system to get people into the country legally. The process might have been slow, but it had an order to it. And now we spend so much money on chasing down the illegals, hunting them down. You understand? Hunting down the illegals. And there's a video just came out today. I saw it. I'm gonna see if I can find it. There is a video that came out today. I don't know if there's a way I can fact check it, but it certainly talks about the treatment of the illegals in the detention center in Broadview, Illinois. So I want to park. I'm gonna see if I can find that video. I want you guys to hear it. Hopefully, again, I can find it. But yeah, we got to bring some dignity to this thing and some justice. Justice for America, dignity to the people, and some sanity back to our nation. Let's see, Broadview, B-R-O-A-D, Broadview, ICE Live. I'm gonna see if I can find this video. It was two ladies speaking, and they made the video a couple hours ago. I was intrigued by it. That the inhumane treatment that's going on in, well, allegedly in this Broadview, Illinois detention center. I don't see a reason why for them to lie or create hype. But again, they're saying that the people are 30 to 50 people are. Can you imagine 30 to 50 people being huddled together just to stay warm? This is what the video was talking about, and that the conditions are not apropos, and that there are limited resources and limited in terms of people having access to go up in there and check on the people. At some point, we got to bring some dignity to this people. Look, it's, I look at this theme also, I told you guys, from a spiritual aspect, because you got to do things which are pleasing to God. And that way your blessings continue. The immigrants are God's people, whether you like it or not. I think there's only a small percentage which are bad. And that's like any race of people or any culture. But when you come over to a place illegally, this unfortunately is the consequence that everybody is paying for. Like I said, financially, we're paying for it here in Illinois. All the housing, the police coming after them, the food, the health care, the school. Joe Biden messed us up, y'all. And like I said, this thing could go on for years. This thing could literally go on for years. And the more I cover it, the more I do not see a current solution. I just don't, y'all. It's complex, yes, yet it's simple. I want to type in living conditions. That might help out. I'm scrolling. If you have any solutions, let me know. I'd like to do a live video on this thing, especially if you're in another city, because I like to know, what is your city doing? Whether it's a migrant encampment or a migrant detention center. What is your city doing? What is the mayor? What is the governor? Are they cooperative with ICE? Are they not? Are they resisting? I mean, how much money has been spent? Is your town going through a furlough right about now? Not just for the government shutdown, but also the more money you spend on illegals, it's going to be less money for goods and services for regular Americans. This thing is just so... It's a snake that you're trying to manage. It's constantly slithering. And As soon as you think you got a way to peg it and understand it, you don't. Because there's so many moving parts on a daily basis. It's too many moving parts. You don't know what Trump is going to do. I missed Trump's announcement yesterday. I know he did a hour plus press conference. I got to take the time to watch it. But people, you know, that seemed like his number one thing: immigration, immigration, immigration. I wish they paid that kind of attention to black people. Some folks ain't gonna like that, but you know, look, you got a right to look out for your own. I got a right to look out for my own. But this is what's happening, because money that could be spent in minority communities, no matter what color you are, here in Chicago or any city, money that could be utilized for black and brown and white and whomever, legal people, the money's being used for illegals. And some of the rage, right, and some of the dissatisfaction is coming from that. Because, you know, I read comments just not on my channel, but other channel. And people are saying, look, I'm working, my tax money is going to the migrants. Look, I get it, y'all. I get it. And like I said, the last 2 weeks, don't sit up here and have a government shutdown in part because the Democrats allegedly want to chuck into the bill, the spending bill, immigration spending for whatever they're going to spend it on. Just keep it separate so Americans can go ahead and thrive. You understand what I'm saying? Some people think I'm crazy, but look, if we didn't have the immigration issue, then would not have the bill, would the country be shut down right about now? You watch my last few videos, this got to be the sun god, y'all. It came out to the sun god. The 274th day of the year is October 1st. And October 1st is the day that October 1st is when the shutdown of the government started. And that's the 274th day of the year. Well, that's the same time, 274 AD, is when Rome started worshiping the sun god Sol Invictus. And then last night I did a decode in relation to 274. The bill that was passed, the bill that was denied yesterday, the essential, whatever it was called, that came out to 274. I'm the only one that put that together. They playing with us, y'all. See if I can put that. Let me see if I can find that, because I like for you guys to see that. I know you guys don't get a chance to check out all my videos, but that particular video, what a revelation God gave me. Call it a hunch, call it whatever you want to call it, but people, you know, I know how the devil speak. I know exactly how he speak. And I know what he doing. He tearing up our country. You understand what I'm saying? He tearing up our country. So I want to show this to you. See if I can find it. Shut Down Fairness Act.
I gotta report it like it is. 274 AD, sun god Sol Invictus.
I want to show it to you. Look at this in gematria calculator.
Shut Down Fairness Act. Let's see.
Also, my volume don't want to act right. I'll turn it back off, turn it back on.
Enter to Bluetooth. Bluetooth connected.
When I speak, the shutdown Fairness Act.
Shut
Am I
down.
right?
Shut
down Fairness Act. Let's see. Okay. SHUT. Fairness. Act. Ain't that something, y'all?
274.
Look at that devil.
274.
Look at that devil. I've been teaching y'all this for years. What is 274? You see how that, look, come on, man, come on, y'all, come on.
The Shutdown Fairness Act, which was denied to have the essentials be given checks yesterday, like Army and people like that, they call them essential. The Shutdown Fairness Act came out to 274 in Gematria. October 1st is when the shutdown started. That's the 274th day of the year. And Sol Invictus in 274 AD, the Romans started worshiping that god. I'm Franchot Pearson. Ain't nobody else connected that but me. I ain't bragging. I'm just revealing. We got to get right with God, because as you can see, that's got to be a mathematical improbability. Satan working overtime, but God reigns supreme. God bless.